Mojang is not happy with me at all. Recently, I created an illegal Minecraft server that broke every rule of Minecraft server rules and guidelines, full of harmful monetization designed explicitly to expose how flawed Minecraft server reporting and blacklisting system is. And after almost 3 months, Mojang has indeed responded, but oh boy, could their response not have been any worse. Not only did they seemingly lie to try to cover their asses, but even if you take their word, all they've done is accidentally expose themselves even more than I ever could. Let's first establish a timeline of events that led up to this. In April 2025, I reported extremely predatory Minecraft server Cosmic Sky for its harmful guidelines breaking server monetization, whereby they had a variety of mechanics which even Mojang enforcement themselves directly said were not compliant, such as the server's in-game slot machine. However, despite that all, over 9 months later today, the server still has not been blocked or forced to remove their non-compliant monetization. More info on that in this video here. In the meantime, Mojang enforcement was busy threatening completely non-pay-to-win servers such as Minecraft Online with blacklistings if they didn't add chat rules to prevent mean words. Nice priorities there. So, extremely fed up and frustrated with Mojang enforcement's inaction when it came to such a harmful, blatantly rule-breaking server, I decided to conduct an experiment where I would set up a new game mode on my own server, og-network.net, deliberately designed to break Minecraft's guidelines in every single way, and then report it to Mojang myself from an old email to see what would happen. Would they act or would they continue to do nothing? That game mode went live October 12th last year, which is the same day I reported it, and it ran for 2.5 months until the end of the year. On December the 28th, I uploaded a video about the game mode, concluding that despite the game mode being a straight-up Minecraft casino, Mojang did not do anything about it or my report, and the game mode remained up and functional no problem. Also, side note, because people asked in the last video, we only made about $70 total from the game mode, almost all from a few people who bought ranks knowing the game mode was a joke. It wasn't designed in a way to actually get sales. Which brings us to now, after the video has released as well. It seems it may have finally caught Mojang's attention. But first, do you like letting out the stresses of a long day by blowing up other tanks and military vehicles? No? Just me? Well, that doesn't matter, as you have to check out this video's sponsor, War Thunder. War Thunder is an entirely free-to-play, large-scale action game where you can use a variety of vehicles, aircraft, and boats to fight in gigantic battles on a variety of different maps. War Thunder is really amazing at capturing the scale and adrenaline of huge battles, really making you feel like you're right there in the action. The graphics, physics, and sound are all very high quality, creating a very immersive environment, and you can use a variety of military technologies, including guided missiles, smoke screens, night vision devices, strike drones, and even a nuclear strike that flattens the entire map. My personal favorite feature is the X-ray mode, which visualizes War Thunder's dynamic vehicle damage system, where things don't just blow up right away, but instead take damage in realistic ways. With the recent major line of contact update, infantry has been added to the game in a closed testing mode. War is now shown at full scale with infantry, ground vehicles, and aircraft fighting together. The update also introduces a range of powerful modern additions, such as the Terminator, the Typhoon, and the Super Hornet fighters, along with many other new features. Download War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox by using the link in the description, or new players and those who haven't played War Thunder for half a year or more will receive some special bonuses, including 100,000 Silver Lions, a special Decorator Eagle of Valor, and more. You can also fully immerse yourself in the exciting battles in War Thunder Mobile, an epic mobile multiplayer action game. Download and play it for free on iOS or Android using the link in the description. About 4 days after the video came out, on 9 AM New Year's Day, which would have been the evening of New Year's Eve in American time, Mojang enforcement would email my server to inform us that they were not happy with what we were doing and that we needed to stop right now or our server would be blocked in 7 days. Let's take a look at what they said. Hello OG Network, we work for Mojang, the creators of Minecraft, helping to protect Mojang's intellectual property rights and the Minecraft community. This server has been identified as part of Mojang's official Minecraft serverless site program. The server enforcement team performs periodic spot checks of the servers listed, and OG Network has been randomly selected? During our spot check, our team has come across the following items which are not compliant, and then it just lists the gambling on the server, which we will get back into in a second, as there is a much bigger and bizarre concern here. According to this email, the reason Mojang Enforcement decided to review our server is not because I reported it and made a video about it, but because it was a random spot check, which occurs periodically since our server is on the official Minecraft server list, even though it can't be publicly found there because we haven't met all the criteria to be officially listed yet. So if this is to be believed, only a couple days after my video released, conveniently right after the Christmas holiday break would have ended, out of the blue, Mojang just decided to do a check on my Minecraft server because it was one of the hundreds on their official server listing website, likely thousands when you factor in all the non-public ones. Mind you, my server, in its almost 5 years of existence and over 2 years of it being on the server list, has never had a spot check happen before. Not to mention that I asked a few other server owners if they had ever seen it before, and not a single one mentioned they had. Some even thought it was a straight up scam. And this one happens to occur mere days after my video exposing how flawed the reporting system is. I smell BS. What I think happened was that they saw my video and realized that they have been slow to act and I made them look bad, and decided to pretend like they didn't see my video and instead saw my non-compliant server through their usual means as an attempt to demonstrate that their reporting system is in fact working. And another reason I believe this random spot check is BS is also due to what they described we were breaking Minecraft's guidelines for. As is obvious, they mentioned that they don't condone gambling to be hosted in their game, and all references and aspects of casinos and gambling need to be removed. However, interestingly, in the past when we have dealt with Mojang Enforcement, even including when they initially reviewed our server so we could go onto the official server list, they always provided specific screenshots of guidelines violating content so you knew exactly what they wanted you to remove or change. Enforcement were clearly joining the server and going to the web store to do their review. However, this time around they didn't do any of that. They weren't explicit at all as to what content on my server specifically violated the guidelines, almost as if they didn't bother joining the server and reviewing it as they usually do, and instead just saw my YouTube video. Essentially, most of the evidence here, plus the far too convenient timing for the spot check that basically nobody has ever heard of happening before, seems to indicate that their reporting system is still not working as it should, and the only reason they acted is because they saw my video with over 700,000 views thrown right in front of their faces, despite them trying to pretend that wasn't the case. But you know what's even more ironic? In their attempt to cover their asses, they've ended up accidentally exposing themselves even harder. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, by the way. I was taking a bit of a risk by making my server non-compliant after all. No pressure. Oh, and check out my server's 100% EULA compliant RPG survival game mode, which has absolutely no pay-to-win gambling. We've got custom vanilla plus enchantments, classes with fun abilities, and recently just updated our MMO style dungeons. IP's in the description. The server is doing better than ever, you have to come check it out. Anyways, let's play along and assume that Mojang Enforcement did in fact perform a miraculously timed spot check on my server, which is how they discovered it was non-compliant, rather than discovering it through my YouTube video. Then what on God's green earth happened to my actual report, which I sent in back in October? Once again, they said that this spot check was completely random and conducted periodically, meaning they didn't act on any player reports, which in the past they have in fact specified. So rather than review my report I sent in 2.5 months ago, or in the case of Cosmic Sky, over 9 months ago, they are going around spot checking servers instead? If we are to believe what Mojang Enforcement is saying here, how does that make the situation any better for them? If anything, it makes it even worse and proves my point even more. The original premise of my 2 videos here was to discuss and then demonstrate how poor Mojang's enforcement was when I reported blatantly guidelines breaking servers. And here in this email where they are trying to cover their asses, all they've done is unintentionally admit that their report system still isn't working as it should, as my report still didn't work and didn't lead to any actual change. Furthermore, what happens to servers that aren't on the official server list? Many of the more guidelines violating servers, like Cosmic Sky, Minecadia and more, aren't on the official server list at all, not even unlisted like mine is, not that it matters anyways, since essentially nobody uses it. Does that mean these servers receive less moderation or spot checks and thus are more likely to fly under the radar? I guess if we've learned anything anything from this email is that the best way to evade Minecraft blacklisting is just to not be on the official server list at all. And since the server list gets servers very little if any players as well, it's not like that's going to disadvantage them anyways. Once again, if we take Mojang's word, all it's done is make them look worse, as they've unintentionally revealed that my server would have gone on operating fine without them checking it if it weren't for the fact that it was on the server list. And I guess since servers like Cosmic Sky aren't there, nothing will ever happen to them. It's just so ironic. They'd have been better off just admitting they saw my server through the video. No matter what way you look at the situation, whether you believe Mojang or not, neither makes them look good. Let's stop droning on now, you get the point, as there's some even greater concerns we need to discuss. First, it's something I've been complaining about for a while. As Mojang stated in their email to me, Mojang does not condone gambling to be hosted in our game. Wow, that's awesome, right? No gambling. Not quite. Almost every Minecraft server has crates and loot boxes, which are in fact allowed provided you follow these secret loot box rules not found anywhere on the usage guidelines page and only made known to server owners once enforcement emails them to mention they are breaking rules they didn't even know existed. Nice. Right, so then for some reason loot boxes and crates are not defined as gambling by Mojang. But then why are they explicitly defined as gambling in the Minecraft Bedrock server guidelines and rules? On Java they aren't gambling and are allowed, but on Bedrock they are and aren't allowed. Is Minecraft Bedrock in another universe or something? How can something be defined as one thing on one game and then the same identical thing defined differently on the other? The other complaint I have with enforcement is their timelines. It takes them months to review a server report, if they even do in fact do so, yet they expect server owners to respond in a week. I actually do think that making server owners respond in a week is good, but only when that same respect to time is applied to enforcement acting on reports too. It's simply unfair considering the current state of Mojang enforcement. This is something we'll actually be diving deeper into in next week's video, where a desperate, entirely non-pay-to-win server owner emailed me explaining how his server had been blocked without him even realizing over the Christmas holidays, and he has been struggling to get it unblocked ever since for a month now, losing hundreds of players in the meantime, whilst getting auto-generated responses from Mojang enforcement and Mojang support. Make sure you subscribe, you won't want to miss that. Ultimately, to conclude, I want to be proven wrong. I want everything we've talked about in this video to just be a big misunderstanding. I want this entire server reporting saga to be able to be justified with reasonable explanations. I want them to call me and my videos out. But let's be realistic. Mojang enforcement is not transparent with the Minecraft community on how their report process works, report timelines, and even some of the actual rules and guidelines themselves, like the secret crate rules. How could I possibly look at this entire ordeal and think the system is working as intended in any way when I'm entirely kept in the dark? And all of Mojang enforcement's observable actions only continue to support my arguments. If Mojang enforcement would be somewhat transparent with their decisions, then maybe I would have more faith in them. But as it stands, based on their response to my illegal server video, I think all they've ended up doing is making themselves look even worse. And somehow, there's still even more left to share of their incompetence and how it can actually significantly harm smaller servers. Be sure to subscribe for next week's video. Thank you all so much for watching.